Success Insight shares the stories of the people with passion and drive who make things happen in the world. Here's your host, Howard Fox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Success Insight podcast. Our guest today is Andrée Martin. And you know, when we have Andrée Martin as a guest on Success Insight, it must be Mindset Monday. And every episode of Mindset Monday, André's and my goal is for you to come away with some insights to not only improve your golf game, but also your leadership game. So just to give you a little background about Andrée, she is your leadership, mindset, and golf performance coach. Andrée is an LPGA Class A Life member, a nationally recognized top 50 golf teacher and expert, and a member of the Maine Golf Hall of Fame. Recognizing golf's value as a business tool in today's competitive marketplace, Andrée works with individuals, groups, corporate or organizational clients to create educational and team-building programs that enhance the professional success of aspiring executives. Andrée Martin, welcome back to the Success Insight podcast.
Thank you, Howard. It's great to be back with you as always, and I'm excited to deliver another Mindset Monday for our golfers and business leaders out there.
Fantastic. You know, I was really pumped after our last episode when we talked about goals, and I'm really, I'm pumped about all the episodes. It kind of makes me want to get out there and get another set of clubs and go play some golf, but I think I need your help because I'm thinking it's always been my balance and my stance and my grip. And as you say, rather than trying to hit the 300 plus yard drive, I should have been focusing on the short game because that's where the percentages are for me. And
68%.
Oh God, yes. So, I think all that's standing in the way of me breaking 100 is you getting back from the East Coast, coming back out West.
We will make that happen soon, Howard.
Very good. So what is our topic today for Mindset Monday? What are we going to share with our listeners?
Our topic today, to go for the gold and not settle for silver, is to know what you need to do to overcome fear and succeed.
Fantastic.
Fear is false evidence appearing real. And I get that every day on my lesson tee when people come to me for a golf lesson. It amazes me how successful people shift over to golf and fear shows up. And it's interesting to me as I teach more and more lessons, and at this point, it's thousands and thousands of lessons. But whatever's going on in your life often shows up in your golf game. And so it might be a variety of things. It might be a fear of how you're looking that day. It might be a fear of how you're swinging or what your swing looks like if it's not a picture perfect looking swing. But what you got to realize is there's the Arnold Palmers, there's the Jim Furyk's, there's the Nancy Lopez's of the world that were extremely successful in their careers and did not have that picture perfect swing. So it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive in golf. And I believe there's a similar connotation to business, Howard, in that there might be a general textbook foundation of how to run businesses, but then there's a lot of morphed, creative, unique ways of delivery, inspiration that create great bottom line, successful businesses. And that leads into the next fear that I often see is, how are you perceived by others? How are you playing against certain people, your competitors? It shouldn't matter. You just need to go play. And being in front of certain people, how you're comparing yourself, admitting you're afraid is a big deal, or afraid of realizing that you actually have that fear. The goal in golf should be feel the fear and play great anyway.
I'm curious too, because I'm thinking about the fears. I have a client that I've worked with, and for the past X amount of years, life has been good. I mean, she's been getting new promotion after new promotion, like once a year. Then all of a sudden, with COVID-19, the world is kind of coming to an end. I mean, you've got quarantining, you have her manager that she has worked with has left to go on for other opportunities, her team members, and all of a sudden she's faced with this change that she was totally not prepared for. And she's created this rabbit hole, and she's feeding that fear and just continually going down the rabbit hole. And if we don't find a way to cut that fear down in its tracks and realize we all have a choice of how we want to show up and what we want to do about it, then, fear is going to get the best of us.
And that is so true. And I can certainly speak from personal experience. I've had 2 shoulder injuries that were pretty serious operations. I've had 6, I think, knee surgeries that has caused me personally to adjust my golf swing without realizing it. And it's not picture perfect. So I actually have had to go through what my students are now going through. And sometimes I think that is the universe saying, hey, Andrée, you got to learn what they're going through so you know how they feel. And it's a matter of letting go and allowing everything to happen in its course with specific direct action. So in other words, you've got to maintain your fundamentals. You've got to keep going back to the basics. But within that, there's that unique opportunity to create what you need to develop for you, given the circumstances you're in and what your body allows you to do from a physical golf standpoint. And the more I stay in tune with my rhythm and tempo and really feeling and allowing myself to get into the right places and allowing myself to drop into what we call the slot of golf, I play my best ever. And all golfers that I work with do. It's a matter of finding what that sweet spot is.
You just mentioned this, sweet spot, but then you also mentioned the slot. Is that the same thing, or is that something different? Because you've never mentioned slot before.
No, I haven't. And we talk about the zone, the slot, the sweet spot. The sweet spot is what allows you to create optimal power and deliver into a really good, solid impact. So if I'm hitting with really good, solid impact, I've hit the sweet spot. The sweet spot is hitting the very center of the club face, and the ball just springs off and absolutely explodes. How we get there is with a syncing of body parts into the right positions. So where people get stuck is that their hands tend to get ahead of their body. And it's a matter of the lower body, the hips and leg drives, the core turning first, and then the hands dropping back into the slot secondly. And when we try to force it and we get too quick, your hands get ahead of the body. So it's all about synchronicity. That's very similar to business. And that's exactly what your client's going through right now. She's having to redirect and find what's the new sweet spot? What is the best way to recalibrate the positioning of her and her company so they continue to elevate to success?
When your golf player out on the course comes to you for the lesson and that there's fear and it shows up in different ways. You mean, I can't do this. I can't do that. This sucks. That sucks. Business and had a bad day. I'm going to shoot bad. And it's the fear, what you think about, you bring about. And so what I hear you saying, in order to overcome the fear, is I have to kind of go back inside, work on the mindset, reestablish my rhythm, my sweet spot, my zone, my slot, so that I can then rise above that fear and, as you had said, succeed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So some of the fear pieces are tension, nerves, queasy stomach, shaky hands, self-doubt, the negative consciousness, all those things. When tension is present, the only thing that's left in a golf swing is the hands and arms. There's nothing left. Your body can't turn. But when you let it go and allow yourself to get into the rhythm and really relax, your body language ends up being able to talk and walk like a champion. Your eyes are up. A champion is always looking high and above. Someone that's down tends to look low. That's in business or sport. It doesn't matter. So if you make a joke, you talk to your partner, you make fun of yourself, you smile, you sing. Some people will stretch. Some people will come up with a mantra. Some folks will focus on a strategy versus the score, and maybe you just need to breathe and then say, oh, the heck with it. Most golfers will hit a point in a round where they're just so frustrated. It's like, dang gummit, I'm doing it again. And then you say, oh, the heck with it. And you let it go. And when you do, oh, where's that been all day? And there's that great shot. It's because you really relaxed into it and you let it happen. And so we've got all this preparation getting ready to allow and make it happen.
What is a good technique that you would use with one of your clients to get them ready in the moment? And before you answer that, I'm thinking Amy Cuddy when it comes to speaking and you have your Superman pose and your hands on your hip. And after I chat, one of my other clients, we were talking about that. It was either today or yesterday. And go watch these TED Talks. Watch Amy Cuddy. With your clients, when they're out on the course with you or at the range, what is the technique that you use with them to begin that process of relaxing, letting go, recentering yourself, and just starting to have fun again? What are some of those techniques?
Well, I've talked about the think box and the go box. So first of all, it takes awareness. It's like, okay, I'm not playing the best of my ability. Got it. Clear. Then it takes breathing. Well, how much breathing? What kind of breathing? You don't want to be thinking so much about breathing that you can't swing either. You and I, as we're talking and having this conversation, we're not thinking about breathing. But the minute I say, think about, it takes breath and letting go over the breath. And then you become focused on the breath. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, you're holding your breath, right? So there's a certain amount of letting go of that as well. So what I'll often do with my students and each one of the listeners in this audience, if all you did was think about the best swing you've ever made, okay, and all of us, even a newer golfer like yourself, Howard, have hit a great shot and you know what it feels like to have it just come off. It's like, oh my gosh, where'd that come from? I want more. That is your best shot. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how relaxed were you on that shot? If 10 is too tight. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 is too fast, from a rhythm and speed standpoint, everybody has their own number. And that's their best tempo. So if you had on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 is super fast, what number would you be when you're hitting it your best? What does it feel like to you? And you could call it miles an hour. If 100 miles an hour is definitely too fast,
right.
The speed demon you are, Howard.
Gotcha.
What number would be your best number? And you want to play to that number and play with it. Maybe you think it's a 7. So maybe you hit a few swings at a 6. No, that's too slow. An 8, that's too fast. Is it a 6.5? Is it a 7? Is it a 7.5? Find your number and really get into it and get excited about it and play with that. And when you really feel it and allow yourself to embrace that, you're going to play your best.
Very good. Very good. So, Andrée, before we head out, is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners and, what it takes to overcome the fear and succeed? Anything else that comes to mind for us?
Well, I'm always thinking about feeling that number, creating that number, game on. Whatever you resist persists, both in business and golf. If you let it be, it will let you be. And that's the game within the game.
Very good. So, Andrea, if our listeners would like to learn more about you and your work, where are the best places for them to go?
Love to have you visit andreegolf.com. That's Andrée with 2 E's. Or my YouTube site, which is Andrée Martin Golf. I can also be found on Facebook and LinkedIn. And I'd love to have you visit. And as always, Howard, you and I love to collaborate. If there's anything we can do to help the listeners accelerate their success, we're all about that, aren't we?
Most definitely that. There's no doubt there. Andrea, as usual, it's a pleasure to have you join me on this journey with Mindset Monday. And this has been a great series on the Success Insight podcast. And I think we just hit another home run or another wonderful pitch to the hole. We are a couple inches away from the hole. So I think we did it again.
Eye on the target.
Fantastic. So eye on the target, overcome fear and succeed and go for the gold. Don't settle for silver, folks. Well, hey, we did it again. Another episode of Mindset Monday with Andrée Martin, our leadership mindset and golf performance coach. Do go out and visit Andrée on our website, andreegolf.com, as well as on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And of course, we will provide you the backlinks so you can make the journey over to Andrée's web and social sites. In the meantime, you can also visit us on successinsightpodcast.com. We would love to hear your thoughts, comments, ideas about our podcast. And you can also find us on Facebook and LinkedIn at successinsightpodcast.com. Those are our company pages, as well as on YouTube. And we are also on the podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and Amazon Music. So lots of ways to get some great content and just to enjoy 15, 20 minutes of your time, whether you're walking around the block, taking a bike ride, you're on the step machine. What a great way to expand your learning edge by getting a feel for our approach to mindset, and especially with Andrée and her expertise when it comes to the world of golf and teaching everybody from people like me to really some phenomenal golf pros and semi-pros. And I mean, that's what Andrée does. And in fact, the fact that she's also a very accomplished leadership coach as well, what a great combination. So you definitely got to take advantage of that. So folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a phenomenal day. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, take care of your family, practice social distancing, wear a mask, and depending on when this podcast lands, definitely we hope you got out to vote. That's very important. Okay, we'll see you on the next episode of the Success Insight Podcast. Take care now.
Success Insight is a production of Fox Coaching and First Story Strategies. Find us online, successinsightpodcast.com.